everyone. We are going to go ahead and get started. My name is Barbara Alvarez, and I am with Church by the Sea. I am so happy that you guys are here. Firstly, I would like to thank you all for taking the time to come. You guys are going to be very pleased that you're here. I want to thank GMSHRM, the Greater Miami Society for Human Resources Management. They are our partners in putting this workshop together for you. And I want to make a couple of announcements. This exact workshop will be held this coming Thursday morning at 10 a.m. in Spanish. So if you know anyone who needs it, please spread the word, send them the link. We are so happy that you're here and that we can support you and help you during this difficult time. Also, quick announcement, on Friday morning, or Friday at 1 p.m., we're going to have our next installment of the self-care workshop. And that one, this Friday at 1, the Lunch and Learn, it's a Lunch and Learn, is going to be Happy Food, Happy Mood with Chef Dulce. And she is going to do a cooking demonstration. So tune in for that as well. Okay, so I won't waste any more time. Let me introduce to you our expert, Robert Garcia. I am so happy and so thankful that you're here with us, Robert. Robert is VP with Randstad RiseSmart. He's an MBA providing human capital solutions. He specializes in human resources management, training and development, and executive coaching globally. He's also the president-elect of GMSHRM, the Greater Miami Society for Human Resources Management. They are our partner in this workshop. And now I'm going to go ahead and turn this over to Robert. Robert, you're on.
Great. Thanks so much, Barb. It's a pleasure to be with all of you. This is definitely a passion of mine, career exploration. I've worked a number of years in the outplacement business. So outplacement is a company that provides this assistance, and we work with large, major, multinational employers, helping people transition from their current role to new and better opportunities. I can tell you that I've been in human resources for about 30 years. I started when I was very young, and I have part of my role, and probably the most rewarding part of my role, is helping people transition. I can tell you that if you are currently in transition, it may be a difficult time, but 95% of the people that go through transition end up in better jobs than they had before. So there's a great opportunity out there, even during a pandemic. I think that you will see that you will transition nicely and find a great opportunity. And today's session really is to explore, what is it that I want to do? I always tease people and start by saying, what do you want to do when you grow up? I know that myself, I don't know if I've grown up fully. So we're all in development. We're all in a stage of exploration, and it's important to take the time and really reflect on what it is that you want to do, because, you know, as the saying goes, today is the first day of the rest of your life, and that's the optimism and perspective that you have to take to really transition and make the most of it. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with all of you. And as you can see, as Bob was saying, these sessions, we're going to do them for the next 4 weeks. You see the dates there. On Tuesdays, it's in English. Today's session is career exploration, and I will do the same session in Spanish on Thursday from 10 to 11. Then we have job search strategies with Ana Diaz, and that is on October 13th and 15th. Again, Tuesdays in English, Thursdays in Spanish. Networking skills with Marta Ramirez, and all the basics of networking, how to do it appropriately, networking events. Anna also is going to cover resume development. So that's an important part of your job search strategy, starting with your resume and getting everything ready. And then Pilar Proctor is on October 27th in English, on October 29th in Spanish, behavioral interviewing. So how to interview, the type of interviews that are now very popular. So it's really talking about how to prepare for those interviews, and hopefully be able to negotiate and get the job that you've always dreamed about. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to interrupt. At the end of the session, we'll also have an opportunity to ask specific questions, and you can ask those questions on the question and answer box that you have available to you, and Barb's gonna facilitate and help me out with the questions. So as Barb says, I am Vice President at Randstad RiseSmart, and we're a career mobility firm. We help people transition, and we help them with career development as well. I've worked for great companies that you see there. I have an MBA from FIU, and I have several certifications in HR, and as well as I've done a lot of executive coaching. For next year, I'm the incoming president-elect for the Greater Miami Society for HR Management, or we're calling it now HR Miami. So it's the HR Association in Miami-Dade County. So it's several hundred HR professionals meeting, and we typically meet on a monthly basis. We're all volunteers, and we put on workshops like these for primarily for HR, but certainly we have a workforce readiness committee, and Pilar Proctor actually is leading our core leadership area, and I thank her for all of her support. I know she's on, and her committees have been doing a great job of really doing outreach and making sure that we provide resources and expertise to the general public, in addition to HR professionals and our members. So the first session today is really about exploring your career. So as I said, what do you want to do? What do you want to do now? What do you want to do for the rest of your life? Do you want to stay on track with what you've been doing? And we're going to explore some of that. Or are there some options that we can do? Certainly, also want you to look at your current skills, or your skill set. We also call them in HR competencies. And then also, what are future skills that are necessary? Do I need to hone in on some of those skills to bridge some of the gaps that future employers and future jobs require? And then how are we going to design the ideal job? And it is possible to design the very job that you want. You just have to negotiate many times with employers or yourself or your family, because nothing is perfect. There are give and takes to anything you want. If you want more flexibility, for instance, then there are some things that you may have to give up. But being totally optimistic, you can be anything that you want to be. As the Army used to say, be all that you can be, without joining the Army. But you can certainly find those opportunities in the right company, in the right job. Geographically, we're going to explore what it is that you want. Where do you want to go? Do you want to stay in Miami? Do you want to explore opportunities outside of Miami-Dade County? And also, how do we negotiate and talk about salary as in how that relates to your overall job search or exploration? And then I'm going to give you a page, and obviously this webinar is being taped, so you can have access to it. There are employers that are actually looking for jobs, and there are a lot of jobs out there, believe it or not. Even during the pandemic, there are companies that are doing really well and need people with your skill set. So it's important for you to have that available. And then some resources for you, some government resources, some job boards that I want to give you. Hopefully that sounds good. Let's get right into it. So in terms of what you want to do you want to find a job? Are you happy with the job that you had? Is it something that really motivated you? And I define motivation as on Monday morning, when you wake up and you say, wow, I can't wait to get online, because that's what we've all been doing for the last, I don't know how many months, 6, 7 months. We typically, and some people have returned to their employers, but on Monday or on Sunday evening, when you're preparing, if you are excited, if you can't wait to get back into doing your job, that to me says that you're motivated, that you really like what you do. If at any time you've said, oh, it's Sunday, I can't believe tomorrow's Monday and I've got to get to work, you may not be in the right job, you may not be in the right company. And if you are currently in transition, this is the opportunity for you to really reflect and figure out what it is that you want so that you can transition into a job that on Sunday evening or Monday morning, you're going to be excited, you're going to be passionate, you are going to really think about what wonderful things you can do, because my personal philosophy is that life is too short. You need to love what you do and surround yourself with a great culture, good people, and that is possible. That is all possible if you really take the time to explore what it is that you want and what you're passionate about. The other option that you have is, do I want to change careers? It's never too late to change careers. I started my career in healthcare. I was an ultrasound tech. I transitioned nicely from an ultrasound tech to leading a department, going into management, and then transitioning into training and human resources. So I've had 4 or 5 different transitions, different careers within my 30 plus year experience. I've never really sat still. I've always had ambitions and opportunities. Whether I explored them or thought about them, or I've had lots of mentors and friends that have pointed out to me that I'm extroverted, I have a good personality, I like people, that, and that's how training was offered to me, and subsequently went into HR because people said, you should be in HR. And at the time when that was offered, I didn't really know what that career was, but the more I thought about it, the more I explored it, the more I really enjoyed it. And then I've merged into a sales role as well, and so that's kind of the trajectory. It's important to have a roadmap to your career so that you can focus. And we'll talk a little about skills as well in the next couple of slides. Also, this may be a good opportunity to become a consultant, buy a business. If you have a little nest egg that you want to invest in, there are lots of people that buy franchises of different types of companies. I would say probably don't go into retail right now. Certainly the world of work is changing tremendously, and you need to explore to see how successful those ventures are right now. Or maybe you're at a step or a stage in your life where you're probably thinking about retirement. I know that I am 58 years old. I know I look very young, teasing, but it's an opportunity for me to think about already, when do I want to retire? And we have options. You can retire at early retirement at 62. You can wait to get Medicare at 65, and the older you get, the more you start thinking about healthcare, and that's an important part of what you have to think about. Or as Social Security or the government has said, my full retirement is at 67. And there are financial implications to retiring at 62, 65, or 67. So those are, if you're thinking about retirement, what is the next step in the process? If you're already 62, you may have an opportunity already to retire, but you may want to wait. And many people go into retirement and select to stay on and work part-time is another opportunity that you could potentially explore. So lots of opportunities for you to really explore what track you want to go into. And it's okay to go down a particular track or trajectory or career path and switch, because many times as we are doing this exploration, maybe you're looking at finding a different career. And as you're exploring that career and the opportunities or the skill sets that you need to go into the career, you may think that, for instance, so I also teach at FIU. I teach an HR course, and I love to teach. And I thought at some point during my career that I want to be a full-time faculty member. And I spoke to several people at the university, and I said, you know, what will it take for me to be a full-time faculty member? And then they said, well, you have a master's degree, so you have an MBA, but in order to be a full-time faculty member, you would probably need a PhD or a doctorate degree. And then, so I said, thanks for the opportunity, great advice. Went back and really explored and different doctorate programs, different PhD programs. The average it takes is 3 to 5 years. You have to do a dissertation. And then I decided, and I said, I think I'll continue to teach on a part-time basis and as an adjunct faculty. I don't think, for me, a career as a full-time faculty member at this stage in my life is appropriate, because I don't know if I want a PhD. If I were younger, maybe that would be different. So those are the types of things that you kind of have to think about as you are exploring all of these options, and making sure that you do research and understand what it is that you need and what's required of you. In terms of skill set, we have, we develop, in HR, we develop competency models. So competencies are experiences that you've mastered. So here are things that, depending on the job or career that you explore or want to go into, you have to have certain skill sets. So if you are a people person, the part of the competency model that you would probably excel at is the top of the competency model, where you see relationships. So I'm good at communication. I like influencing people. I have good interpersonal skills. I love to surround myself with people and work on teams. I like customers. I have experience with different cultures. So I have what we call cross-cultural agility. I can move from one culture to the other pretty easily, and I enjoy learning from people in different cultures. So if this is a core competency of yours, then you need to explore careers or jobs that will give you the opportunity to really hone in and really use those skills to your advantage. And then you see self-management. So if you are driven by results, if you're hardworking, if you have resilience, if you like to take on risks, certainly, and you're a self-starter, self-motivated, maybe the self-management piece is good for you. And it doesn't mean that one career, one job has just one or two. It's really exploring those jobs or opportunities that will really give you the opportunity to use the parts of the competency model that you have developed. And more importantly, there are opportunities for you to enhance these skills and really focus on more experiences and be able to capture more of these competencies within your exploration. Leadership, certainly, those jobs that require you to be a leader. And I have many friends, many coworkers that have told me that they do not want to lead people. They are individuals that are individual contributors, really like to focus on their role and their job, and for them to be in a leadership role is not something that they have a skill set or they're interested in exploring or developing that skill set. Management as well, if you're good at managing, if you're able to delegate, if you're a good project manager, if you like to coach people, if you like to deal with differences and help manage some of the conflict that is created when you manage people. I also know lots of people that are very good at that. As you think back on your career and the opportunities that you've had, you probably can think about good leaders and poor leaders. And many times we can't forget the poor leaders, but certainly, hopefully you've had inspirational leaders in your career. And if that's something that you want to do, maybe now is the time to do it and explore and really look into those opportunities. And then we have the analytical part. If you are logical, if you are good at innovation, if you like to solve problems, critical thinking skills, I think, is an important competency to have regardless of what role you have. Having some common sense in thinking about the problem or the challenge. Any employer, and this is something good to remember as you are working on our last session, and I'm sure Pilar will cover this, but thinking about a time when you were really good at thinking critically and thinking of an innovative idea that provided the organization or your role with opportunities for growth. The company did well as a result of that idea that you worked on either individually or as a team. So these are the types of things that you're having to think about and looking at this competency model. And what I would do and what I would start doing is really looking at this model and seeing, here are the things that I'm good at, and kind of putting a check mark next to those that you're good at. And then taking a step back and saying, okay, is this something that I like? Is this something that I can live with? Are there some areas where there aren't check marks but I'd like to learn more about? And then how are you going to do that? How are you going to really focus on those areas? Let's say that business acumen, we have not mastered that business acumen. How am I going to get more business savvy? Or do I have to go back to school and take a business course? Is there something online that I can do to really think about those business skills? And as I transition and explore opportunities in a company, let's say I want to work at a logistics company, well, let me learn a little about the business. Let me learn a little about how they do business and how they make money and what types of things do they do. Or maybe I want to go into a nonprofit. Maybe I want to give back. Maybe I want to explore opportunities to do good. And having that business savvy is an important part of what to do and how to do it. Now, let's look at your ideal job. Let's say that we're going into a job. Here are some decisions that you have to make. Think about, what is your passion? What is it that you want to do? What are your hobbies? Can I convert my hobby into a paying job? Or maybe I don't need to get paid. Maybe I can volunteer. What is it that I like? What is that passion that you have, that drive? Maybe it's helping people. Maybe it's interacting with people, or maybe it's numbers. Maybe it's opportunities for development or growth. I have a good friend of mine that he has a tremendous thirst for knowledge. So he's looked for organizations that we call learning organizations. So these are organizations where there are plenty of career opportunities. They have a great tuition reimbursement program. So there's always an opportunity for growth and learning. Also, titles. Are titles important to you? I have another friend that, unless it's what we call C-level, CEO, COO, CAO, CTO, CIO, so Chief Information Officer, Chief Executive Officer. Unless it's a C-level job, he doesn't apply for them. Or you know, he not only enjoys those roles, but titles to him are very important. And that may be you may not. I have another friend that says, "Call me whatever, just pay me, and I'll be happy." And those are the types of kind of conversations you have to have with yourself. Also, it's important to look at the company culture. I've worked for very good companies. I've also worked for companies that are not as good, where the culture is, I don't want to say toxic, but there are companies out there with toxic cultures, and you definitely want to avoid those. I have a friend that interviewed for a company, and as she went into the company, she said she got a huge sense that it was a culture that she could not work in. She said no one smiled. Everybody seemed to be overworked. They seemed to be in a bad mood. Nobody looked up and smiled or said hello to me. And as a result, she told the recruiter and said, you know, thanks for the opportunity, but I don't think I'll be able to work for the company. So you can sense that and now in Zoom, as you interact with people, as you're talking to different people, you can definitely get a sense of what the company culture is like, and that's an important part of what you have to do. Also, opportunities for advancement are an important part of what you need to explore. Ask the questions. Are there opportunities for advancement, or is this it for me in terms of my role? If I start in this, let's say a call center, are there opportunities for growth outside of this role, or is this pretty limiting in terms of my role? And it depends on what you want. Maybe you want to do the same thing for 20, 30 more years, but if advancement is an important part, make sure that you ask those questions and really explore. Also, lots of people nowadays are looking for flexibility, especially the younger generations. Everybody's looking for flexibility. I want to work from home. I think that we've learned now more than ever, working from home is very easy to do. We have great tools and resources like Zoom that really can help us really interact and work very efficiently. And obviously technology has helped us tremendously because we are tied to our laptop computer, and we can literally work anywhere. Money is also an important part. Do we need a lot of money? Do we need a little money? Do we need really and something has to give. We can have it all, but it's just more difficult. If we want lots of flexibility, obscene amounts of money, huge advancement, a great culture, huge title, typically all of that comes with a lot of stress, and you may or may not want to take on that risk or that threat. I also have a friend that says the higher up you go, the easier it is to lose your job. So do you want that much risk? You have to prove yourself. And then also independence. Do you want to be a leader? What about the leadership within the organization? Really thinking about your future boss as he or she is interviewing you. Home office, do you want to be surrounded by people? Or do you like numbers? Maybe you want to make a difference in life. I know my daughter, when she started working, and she's a physical therapist, she worked for a company, and she was making a very good salary, but she wasn't happy. And she said to me, she said, you know, I studied to make a difference in life, and I want to make sure that I do that. Money is secondary to making a difference. And I applauded her for that. And she ended up working today she works at a children's hospital, and she absolutely loves what she does. She gets paid well, but she got paid better in the last job she had. So think about those things as you're really exploring opportunities and the roles that you want to go into. Also, we have lots of decisions to make. Who do you want to work for? What do you want to do? Where do you want to work? And how much do you want to get paid? Who, what, where, why, and how much. So industries, there are a number of industries. Do you want to go into the energy business? Do you want to go into technology? Do you want to go into consumer goods? Do you want to work for the government? I have a colleague that really wants to work for the government. And she likes the job security of government employment. I don't know if today there is a job security anywhere, but traditionally, if you work for government, they tend to be very conservative. They don't typically pay as well, but they have great benefits. And then there is stability in the job. Also, you know, insurance, financial services, private equity firms, retail. I would be careful with retail today because I know that that's, you know, we're seeing that some stores are closing. There are opportunities still in retail. You just have to find the right one, and I'll give you a couple of examples of those. Also, take a look at company size. Do you want to be a big fish in a small pond or bowl, or do you want to be a little fish in a huge organization? And each of those provide opportunities and experiences that are that you can learn from. You're going to probably have a huge impact if you work for a small company, but there are not going to be a lot of people around you to learn from. You're probably going to have to learn from people outside of the organization. In a large company, there are lots of people, lots of departments, lots of specialties that you can learn. You can also do some career exploration in large companies. You could probably have a rotation or shadow people throughout the organization to learn more about a particular role, a particular career. I have lots of experience in healthcare, and I know that if you work for a large healthcare company, you can go into an administrative role or you can go into a clinical role. And what are those opportunities, and what do I need to do to get, and in clinical careers, you typically need a license or you need a degree to get into a particular area if you want to be a nurse, for instance. My brother-in-law, at the age of 60, he had a company, and it was in the mortgage broker industry. When the real estate bubble burst, he decided that he lost his business, and he said, what my passion is to help people, and I really want a medical career. So he actually, at the age of 60, started a career and became a nurse. And today he is a case manager, extremely successful and very happy with his new career that he literally just started probably 7-8 years ago. So that's all possible. And then where do you want to work? Do you want to stay here in Miami? I've helped lots of people, and people say, I love Miami. I don't want a job. I don't even want to go to Broward County. I want to stay in Miami-Dade County. I want to stay in Kendall. And you can make those decisions, and you can think about that. Just remember that the more limiting you are in terms of your scope, the harder it is to find a job. Now, again, with technology, during the pandemic, we've realized that we can work from home. Those opportunities may be broader. You may be able to work for a global company from your home. That is totally, so don't let that really stop you from exploring opportunities. And then pay. What is it that you want to make? And is salary an important part that is driving kind of your decision to make sure that you really explore those careers that pay more? And then more importantly, do I have the skill set, or what do I need to gain in order to have access to some of these careers? Here are some jobs that are available. As we can see here, Target, Amazon, and UPS have over 100,000 jobs available. If you are interested in retail, certainly Amazon is a great way, but Target we see has opportunities. UPS also, because primarily because of we're ordering lots of things online. UPS is incredibly busy, and there are opportunities there. I encourage you to go onto their website and see what jobs are available to them. As we see here, FedEx and CVS have over 50,000 jobs open and available. Again, in the retail industry, Walmart, Ace Hardware, and Lowe's have about 30,000 jobs. Again, continuing with retail and healthcare, Dollar Tree, Walgreens, and Home Depot have about 20,000 jobs that are available. And then Chewy, if you have a pet, you know what Chewy is, and it's a very successful, headquartered here actually in Dania Beach, Florida, and there may be great opportunities at Chewy. Northrop Grumman, it's also a great industry in military. Appen is also a technology company, fully online, has about 10,000 jobs. PepsiCo, Advent Health. Advent Health is headquartered in Orlando, Central Florida. And Lockheed Martin, also aerospace technology company, has about 5,000 jobs. And then 2,000 jobs or more than 2,000 jobs, GlaxoSmithKline, Abbott, are pharmaceutical companies. And as we know, because of the pandemic, several of these pharmaceutical companies are doing well. DaVita is a healthcare company. PwC also has a consulting, has companies, and then Fidelity Financial Services firm has opportunities. If you want to learn more, there are lots more companies on this list. You can go on LinkedIn. Here's who's hiring right now. Andrew Seaman provided the article where all of this data is available, and you can definitely see where those jobs are available. Also wanted to talk to you a little about resources available to you, and all of these resources that I'm providing on this slide are free to you. The state of Florida has floridajobs.org. It's the Florida Department of Economic Opportunity. Go onto that website, and it has career opportunities, coaching, really resources for you to where the jobs are, unemployment. Also, if you haven't applied for unemployment, I encourage you to do that sooner rather than later. Also, the federal government has career one-stop shops or stops, making sure that you explore what the federal government has in terms of resources. If you're looking for, and I know that probably Anna will be talking about negotiating a job, but if you want to see what jobs pay, if you're interested in exploring a career in healthcare and you want to know what nurses, for instance, get paid, go on to Payscale or salary.com, and it'll give you an opportunity to really look to see if that career, maybe, and I've wanted to make a career change at some point during my career, and I've explored other opportunities or careers, and I've determined that in the current role that I was in, I was making too much to make a career change. And I see that a lot in people wanting, at mid-career, you have a certain salary, certain expenses and expectations. It's hard for you during your mid or late career to make a career search. It's easier to do it when you're starting your career and your salary expectations are lower. I've had kind of opportunities to explore other careers, but it would have required me to take a step back and make less money. And at the time, I wasn't able to, could afford to really go back and start over again. So looking at that is an important part of what because we all obviously have bills and opportunities, and we may not have as much flexibility to take a step back and make less money than we're making or what we were making. Also, there are job boards, Indeed, Monster, which is part of Randstad RiceSmart, and then Career Builder are three, probably the largest job boards, and you can register with them, you can set up alerts, and you can make sure that you have defined what it is that you want and explore the jobs that are currently available and the employers that are currently hiring. Also, I encourage you to go on LinkedIn. If you don't have a LinkedIn profile, your homework today is to go and open up a LinkedIn profile and you can start with the basic information, but everyone today that is working should have, if you don't have a LinkedIn profile, this is a great database. This is an opportunity for you to touch base. It's the Facebook for working professionals, or the, I guess, Instagram of working professionals. No videos, but certainly it's a great contact list of people. Connect with people that you've worked for. One of the most important suggestions that I have to give you is tell everyone that you know that you are currently looking for a job, and tell them what it is that you're looking for. So once you finish this career exploration, really think about what it is that you want to do, and then start telling people, because people are going to tell other people that you're looking for a job, and the best way to find a job is by word of mouth. It's the best source. If you know somebody that works for a company and you're interested in learning more about that company, or facilitating the interview process, or getting your resume looked at by a recruiter, is through your contacts and connections. If you're new to Miami, I know one of our participants is new to Miami, certainly network virtually. There are lots of virtual, and learn. You may know somebody that knows somebody from, if you've moved from another state, maybe there's somebody that you know that's here that has a network. Tap into those individuals' network, and anybody that you meet, maybe ask them about opportunities and people that they know that can assist you, and you can call and contact them. So I encourage you to visit these websites as well. And then finally, do you have any questions? Are there opportunities? Are there any questions on the chat, Barb? Let me know.
Robert, right now we don't have any questions in the chat. Let's give people just a few seconds to think and see if they have anything that they want to ask before we wrap up, because we're almost out of time.
Great. And Barb, do you have any questions?
I
know you're not in career exploration, but
but you know what, what you said today is very important. You know, job security is you know, or insecurity is a reality today. So we should all be really have this information fresh in our minds and in our experience. So yeah, I'm furiously writing down things that you're saying.
Wonderful.
We have a question. Let's see. Okay. Can you offer any tips on how to leverage the lack of the popular degrees required for the career you're in?
Great question. So I think formal education is important, but there are many people that have a lot of experience. As an HR professional, I can tell you that some jobs, in healthcare in particular, you have to have a certain degree. But most jobs in business don't necessarily have a requirement of a formal education. I think that I've hired people in fact, 2 people specifically that I can remember that did not have a bachelor's degree. And it's because they had so much experience in the industry and in what I was looking for, that the degree was secondary. So those opportunities are available. Don't let that ever kind of hold you back on really exploring those opportunities, because it is available. And then you can supplement that if you don't have experience by taking courses, by taking certifications, by really looking at all those skills that the job is looking for. And I think that also personality. If the job requires you to have a great personality, there's a lot of things that can be overlooked. So it's an entire package. It's not just one specific thing.
Okay. Catherine Lyons is asking, so I'm an HR professional too, currently completing my bachelor's degree with experience as an HR department of 1, but have been turned down a lot by my lack of degree. How can I overcome that?
Yeah, Catherine, and welcome, HR professional. I think it's a great career, and kudos to you for managing a department of 1. Very difficult sometimes, not having you are the one-stop shop in your company. I think HR certification. Look into getting certified in HR or taking an HR certificate program. I know that FIU and University of Miami and Miami-Dade have certificate programs. You may want to at least have a certificate in HR. And again, I think if you've had experience in HR, they will look at that experience. And then you're currently going through a bachelor's degree, which is a great thing, but maybe consider taking a certificate program or getting certified in HR to supplement that formal education and experience that you have.
Robert Pilar, who is with us, is suggesting a SHRM certification for Catherine Lyons. She's saying, have a SHRM-SCP. So SHRM is the Society for Human Resources of Miami. So.
Yes, thanks, Pilar, for reminding me. We do have, as part of the Greater Miami SHRM or HR Miami, we have a certification review course that is available. Check out our website, GMSHRM.org, and more information. And then that will help you. It's a certification review course that will help you get certified. So we encourage you to become a member of GMSHRM if you're an HR professional. And then take the certification review course to get certified in HR. And as Pilar is saying, the SHRM Certified Professionals, SHRM-CP, is a certification that you can get to supplement that HR experience with a certification in HR.
Great.
Thanks,
I'm also getting Christina Livingston asking if you can please put the slide back about who's hiring. She just needs to write down the link, please.
Sure. Oops. There you go.
There it is. Okay.
And then you can go on LinkedIn and you can see there, here's who's hiring right now. It's actually an article written by Andrew Seaman.
Okay. Pilar is also reminding us that GMSHRM has a certification study group in case that person who is interested in
getting certified
needs that resource. Any more questions, guys? We are just about out of time, and I just want to make sure to get all your questions in. Let's see. Any more questions? Okay, we have another question. Okay, we're getting thank yous. Thank yous.
Wonderful.
Okay. All right. So If that is all, we are going to go ahead and wrap up. I would like to thank you, Robert, for a really informative and interesting workshop. We thank you so much. And I want to thank GMSHRM, our partners, the Human Resources Professionals of Miami, for putting this workshop on with us to help our community in this time of need. Let's see what else. I want to make some announcements. I want to remind you that on Thursday, this workshop will be held at 10 a.m. in Spanish. Robert's going to be giving this workshop in Spanish. I also want to remind you that we will be having on the 15th with Ana Diaz, job search strategies. And she's also doing it on the 13th in English, 15th in Spanish. On the 20th, we'll have Marta Ramirez doing networking, and she'll also be doing it on the 22nd in Spanish. And on the 27th, Pilar, who's with us today, will be doing interviewing, and she will be doing it on the 29th in Spanish as well. So everybody remember that. And let me just go ahead and slip in here before we go that this Friday, we're having our self-care lunch and learn at 1 o'clock. So if you want to take a break at 1 o'clock and do something nice for yourself, we're having a Chef Dulce, who is teaching us the connection between mood and food. So happy mood, happy food, and she is doing a demo. Let's see, what else did I want to say? This recording or this seminar today, this workshop will be available later on our website for you to view and refer back to, and also to share the link with friends, family, your community, anyone you know that can use this information. And there are a lot of people right now that can use this information. Thank you everyone for giving us your time. Thank you for joining us. Once again, thank you, Robert. Thank you, GMSHRM. Thank you, Church by the Sea, for giving us this platform to be able, also, you know, partnering here to help us put this information out there. And I think we're done for today. See you next time.
Thank you so much, and good luck with your career exploration. Bye-bye.
Bye, Robert.
Thank you for the opportunity, Barb and Church by the Sea. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.